Greystone Psychiatric Hospital, formerly known as the State Asylum for the Insane at Morristown. Built in 1876, the facility was built to alleviate the overcrowding at the state's other only lunatic asylum located in Trenton, New Jersey. Originally built to accommodate 350 people, the facility, having been expanded several times, reached a high of over 7,700 patients, resulting in unprecedented overcrowding conditions. By 1895, the State Lunatic Asylum was operating at 325 patients over capacity. The overcrowding was a major health and cleanliness issue, resulting in a small outbreak of typhoid fever, eventually blamed on the water supply. The passing years brought no relief for the bursting hospital. Occupied with 1,189 patients bedded down, and an institution meant to hold only 800 every night. Cots were placed in the activity rooms, exercise halls, and hallways in order to try to find sleeping arrangements for all. From a sanitary point, when you look at this, these cots were an abomination. Declared the board of managers, cots were set up and taken down on a daily basis in the hallways and were not able to be cleaned between uses. Patients often soiled themselves during the night, and the cots were simply handed out again the following evening. One of the most notable patients to stay at Greystone was Woody Guthrie, not committed, but remained there due to his Huntington's disease from 1956 to 1961. And a story that involves a young Bob Dylan coming to visit him was quite interesting. Despite considerable public opposition and protest, the building was demolished in April of 2015.
I just can't believe you could take something like that and there's no evidence of it at all.
I mean, you could see this field as its footprint, though, because there's no living trees in this area, so this is where its footprint was.
No foundations. I mean, just gone. Part of history.
But then you think of the events that transpired in it, all the mistreatment of people, and some of the events, if you go online and you read about them, are horrific.
Very similar to Penhurst, what happened here, unfortunately.
It's like a hollowed ground.
Mm-hmm. Very sad feeling right here, standing here, just...
You said when we got out of the car, an off...
I felt off, which
balance.
I don't often get those things, but when I do, I know something's pulling at me. And I was off balance, like I wanted to keep going this way. And now that I'm here, I just feel just sad.
Yeah.
Even though it's a gorgeous, beautiful day.
One of the patients that was here, one of their most famous patients, was Woody Guthrie.
Oh, really?
Woody Guthrie was here for a period of time, and a young Bob Dylan came to visit him.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was one of these trees. They say there's an old tree out here,
mm-hmm.
and Woody would sit under the tree and play music.
So one of these trees, because these trees are old. Wow.
I read that, and that was very interesting to me. I'm a music buff, so it was cool to Bob Dylan coming out to New Jersey to visit Woody Guthrie. So right now, all that exists of where this building was is there was a pile of rubble when we walked in and we parked.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just following a trail that they put in. And in these outlying areas were other buildings. So we're going to walk to where these other buildings were. We're going to use a few tools and just see if we can pick up on any spirit attached to the land itself. In a case like this, there should be residual.
Yes, definitely.
And probably, I would almost bet, intelligent. So. It's a very dark area to traverse.
This thing does not go off like this.
Branches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're here at a tree. It does have very big branches. I'm Rich.
I'm Marcy.
This is Marcy. All you need to do.
Tremor. String.
You need to just come up to these devices and you could touch them. That will let us know that you're here in this area.
Can you tell us what happened to the tree that's in front of me?
Skill.
Can you tell us your name? What was this place?
Monitor.
They monitored you, huh? That makes sense to me. Was it a hospital? Were sick people here? Invite anybody from the grounds who wants to communicate with us. We have tools here. Do you see us?
What I would like to know is, did you used to work here? Stab.
Were you stabbed?
Violent.
This was a violent place at times. There were a lot of reported deaths. Wow.
This is crazy.
It's very interesting to me when looking at the ovulus that these words came through at the site of Greystone. What's coming through the ovulus is very interesting.
It's very disturbing, actually. Talked about stabbing, violence, dark. All words you don't want to hear when you're standing in a gorgeous field.
Shot?
Yep, shot.
Injections, you know, like
Shoulder.
region.
Did you get a shot in your shoulder? Wife. Mike. Hi, Mike. Thank you for telling us your name.
I did ask a while ago.
And it does
if
take
there's
a little
name.
bit for energy to come through. Mike, again, we said, I'm Marcy and this is Rich. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Did you used to live here? Or did you work here?
Pellet.
Stand.
Worry. Why are you worried? What was that?
What happened?
I just got touched right here. What did it just say?
Show.
Yeah, right here. I just got, like, I'm not accusing you. I'm sorry.
Symptoms.
That was odd.
Yeah, I asked if it could do the tapping sound
Oh, it
onto the
tapped
rock.
on me, not you. Well, thank you. It's fine. I'm excited that you chose to touch me. You did not scare me. It kind of, that's why we're here, to experience things. I will respect you. Please respect me and my body and Rich's. What you did was fine. It just surprised me. You're doing great on this device. Keep going. And this is one of the devices I often don't get a lot of interactivity with. All right, so we've got some other tools that you can use. These are called dowsing rods. Do you know how to use them? All right, good. Are you the same person that was talking through the machine over there? Yes. Okay. Are you a man? Look at that. Were you the person that touched me? Okay, it's all right. Is your name Mike? Pleasure to meet you, Mike. Thank you for chatting with us.
Were you involved in a stabbing here?
Yeah, I felt that before I saw it. Was it something to do with your stomach area? Enter.
Can you point us in the direction that the main entrance of the hospital stood? It's showing on Marcy's right, which would have been, that's where the main building was.
We're live recording. It's really active right here.
That's the obvious, and it never goes off
No,
crazy.
not like that. The only time I have really good success with the Ovilus is if it's a darker location, which this is.
Were there people here that were mistreated, Mike?
Were you mistreated? I'm sorry about that. Were you a patient here?
Did you die here? Maybe
I don't know.
injured, died somewhere else.
Yeah, possibly.
Were you injured here and died at the hospital?
I'm so sad right now. Like, I don't know why. What are you wanting me to look at? You're just...
Can you point with the dowsing rods where you are standing right now?
I know exactly where you're standing, over by the obelisk. Do you like that device over there because you can hear yourself? Yeah.
Are there a lot of souls here? Is there a lot of spirits here?
How many more besides Mike?
It is I.
How many more besides Mike are here with us?
Are there more than 100? Do you see us?
Oh yeah. There's up there. I see people looking down at us from up there. All over. Wondering what we're doing.
Is there anybody here with us? Can you tell us where we are? What was this place? Was this a hospital? Why did people come here? Take your... I could not help but pick up on an image of a man. I feel like his name was probably Robert. He seems very quiet but observant. Definitely feels like it was a patient, and I feel like he was there probably, if I had to give years, the 1950s or the 1960s. But very observant, very quiet. Is there a Robert here? There's a Robert here. Can you step forward and say your name into this device?
Robert. Thank you.
So, would you like us to say a prayer for you?
Also equal to me.
There were just 2 responses there. A different woman chimed in. And I swear it said, yes, sir.
Well, we'll bow our heads and we'll say a prayer for you.
May all these souls be at peace.
What word?
I want to listen back to that because I think about the time we both finished our prayers, it almost sounded like an amen.
I have to agree.
And that would be how Spirit would understand what we're even saying is through thought.
Mm-hmm.
So they would know when we finished.
That was it.
So do you see us standing here? Can you give us a name of who was in charge? Because people might be watching this video who really don't believe that we're talking to spirits and that there are spirits attached to this land. What do you have to say to them? Oh.
Say something. Go ahead and say it.
Say something. This is your opportunity.
Hello. Hi.
Over my shoulder, something's happening. Can you tell me what's happening? Did it say two people or?
It did.
And what are those 2 people doing? What are those 2 people doing? Are those 2 people running? That was crazy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I used.
It said 2 people, but he has a do-rag on, so I could see how he would mistake it.
Well, thank you very much for talking with us. We hope you're at some peace. I know that the buildings were torn down. And people that are in the hospitals now are not going through what you went through here. Science has definitely improved, and the treatment of patients has improved. And in your death, that's what helped people know what was wrong with these institutions.